I've had my Tesla Model Y long range for over 40,000 miles now, and one of the complaints that I constantly hear from people that either own a Tesla or don't own a Tesla or are planning on owning a Tesla is the suspension. How is it? Is it too stiff? Does it ride too firm? And the answers are really mixed. Now, when I initially heard this about the suspension being too stiff, I kind of agreed, but my background is coming from performance-oriented cars, so I was used to a stiffer suspension. After driving things like the Mercedes GLC, the BMW X3 or X5, or the Audi Q5, or even now the Porsche Macan that I own, the Tesla Model Y long range certainly rides stiffer than it should. The performance model should ride stiff. It's a performance model, has larger wheels, has stiffer springs. That's expected to ride stiffer. So after hearing all of these complaints, I decided to find a solution, and that solution for me was getting the Unplugged Performance Luxury Coilover suspension. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I just added a Model 3 long range to the channel, and we have the Mountain Pass luxury suspension. So we're going to be adding that to the Model 3, and I'll be able to compare the rides to both of those. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that content. So I drove from Phoenix to Hawthorne, California, and I had Unplugged Performance install my coilover suspension, and it's been great. Now, if you followed along in the videos, we started at setting 5 of 32, so it was very soft. Unplugged wanted to make sure that I felt like it was very soft and made a difference. After some time went by, I jacked up the car, adjusted it, I put it on its stiffest setting, 32 of 32, and its softest setting, 0 of 32. Now, when I did that video, I was shocked by how soft 0 of 32 was. The car was cushy. When you would accelerate, you could see the whole car jolt back, so it made a big difference. But after driving that for several thousand miles, I realized it was too bouncy. It's not how the car should be tuned. Yes, it is spongy, it is softer, but it's too bouncy. So now I have my car on setting 12 of 32, and it is incredible, and really, it's how the car should have come from the factory. Now, if you have an aftermarket coilover suspension, especially for your Tesla, you should play with it. Go through the settings, see what's best for the roads that are around you. If you're going to the track, make it stiffer. You're going to the canyon roads, make it stiffer. You're going on a longer trip, you want comfort, bring it down. But I think in the 8 to 16 range for the unplugged suspension is exactly where you want to be. Also, this video is sponsored by INTOTHEAM. This is one of their shirts. If someone ever says, you have no heart, you know what you do? Put this shirt on. Like, I'm wearing a heart. I am a heart. So go to INTOTHEAM.com, use code Gjeebs, that will save you 10%, and they also have 25% off all print tees right now. So this is one of their print tees, you'd be able to save 25% off of that and stack my discount on top. So go to INTOTHEAM.com, they also have the electric desert tee that I did a collaboration with them with the spaceman with the electric car charging up in the desert scene. So I think that was really cool that they were doing that collaboration with me, so make sure to check that out. INTOTHEAM, thank you for sponsoring the video. Now back to the content. Now, some people may tell you the Tesla rides fine, it's totally fine, it's just like any car. My recommendation to you is before you go, you're watching all these videos, you're doing research on your car that's coming up, don't order anything like a suspension setup before you even get the car. Don't spend thousands of dollars before you even know how it is on your own. What I might recommend is trying it out for several thousand miles. Maybe you live in an area that has great roads and doesn't get a lot of weather, then you're probably going to be fine with the stock suspension. Now, the other car I own is a 2016 Porsche Macan S, and it has the air suspension. So it's able to, in off-road mode, raise up to 40 millimeters. It drops 10 millimeters from stock when you go into sport mode, and the car is excellent, and it has 21-inch wheels. So it has larger wheels than my long-range Model Y, which has 20-inch wheels, and it's so smooth. The difference to me is, when you go over a bump or up an incline into like a parking lot or something like that, the whole car seems to jostle around. Whereas in the Macan, the car doesn't feel like each part of the suspension is going to throw the whole car. It eats up the bumps better. But also having the luxury coilover suspension does that as well. It just doesn't fully fix the problem. So I have the unique perspective of having a car with an air suspension that's excellent and adjustable, then going to a car where it had a very stiff suspension. I put the luxury coilover suspension on it, and it certainly helped, but it's not magic. It's not going to eliminate every issue you have. Just because of how the car is built structurally, you can't change everything, but it certainly helps. So we talked about the problem. Now, what are some of the solutions? You have a couple options. One, if you're getting a Model Y, the smaller the wheel, the better, because there's more tire between you and the road that's able to absorb more of the hits that are out on the road. So if you get the 19-inch wheel, or even you can go down to an 18-inch wheel in the aftermarket and have more rubber there, the car is going to ride better. And this is probably going to cost a little bit less than going with an aftermarket suspension. The other thing you can do is go with a Michelin all-season tire. I personally think Michelin tires seem to ride the best of any other tires that I've tried. There's a lot of good brands out there. I have the Pilot Sport 4S tires, which is a summer high-performance tire on my Model Y. Rides great. I was a little worried about it being too noisy, but it's been excellent. It's been more quiet than the tires I had on before it, and those were all-season tires with a 500 tread wear rating. These are high-performance summer tires with a 300 tread wear rating, so they're much softer, but they ride even better than the previous ones did. So if you're trying to figure out, is the car going to be too rough for you, again, try it on your own after you get it for a couple thousand miles and then make a decision. Another thing is some of the newer Model Ys I've seen from Germany, or even the newer performance Model Ys, they seem to have a retuned suspension. So Tesla seems to be listening based on what these people are saying and adjusting the damping rates in the car. I just think they're a little too firm. I mean, I get they're fast cars, and I'm okay with the performance model being stiff, but for the long-range model, it's non-performance oriented. That should ride a little bit better from the factory. It should at least come how my coilover suspension is currently set up. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Leave your comments down below what questions you have. I'll make sure to get back to as many of you as possible. But I have a lot of comparisons coming up between the Porsche Macan and my Model Y as far as how much it costs to run them both. And if you're new here, please subscribe so you don't miss that information. Also, doing things like renting the Macan on Turo, seeing how much money we can make from that, and then buying another Tesla. So between all of that and then all the builds we're doing on the Tesla Model 3, there's a lot of Tesla content, there's a lot of automotive content coming, and I hope you join along. Thank you INTOTHEAM for sponsoring the video. Again, guys, check them out, link in description. Their shirts are extremely comfortable. I've partnered with them for well over a year now, and I wear them. I wear them even with the cameras off. They're really soft material, well built. They last after you wash them. I highly recommend them. If you want to watch the install of my suspension, you can click this video right here to check that out and see my initial reactions. And there's a whole Model Y playlist over on my channel that you should also check out to keep you informed and up to date on Tesla. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.